welcome back to another training video. Simon here, and today we're going to talk about a very important exercise, a very important protocol that we've been using for the last 10 years, as long as I can remember it. The moment I joined this business, it was thought to be by, one of my mentors in life and my mentor in Enagic, Amos Sia. And this exercise has really helped me to show the vision and the potential of the 8-point program to a new prospect. And it is called the 4 categories protocol. What happens when, after we show them the 8-point commission, they know the product is good, they know the company pays out a lot of commission, but they can't really gauge or estimate how much money am I going to make in the next 12 months. So this exercise is going to help you show them the potential of the 8-point system. I've been practicing it. I've been doing it on my iPad on a piece of paper with colorful marker pens for the last 10 years. Then do it physically and live with your prospects. It will be so powerful. So before we start, let's understand that in continuation from the 8-point training video, we have the MGuard, the K8, and the Kangen Wukong. All right. Now we know that the flagship product of Enagic, the highest ticket product is the K8. So this chart actually says that the retail and commission values, what I'm using here is a global average price in US dollars. This does not represent Enagic USA selling price and commission. You have to check with your local branch for the local prices and commission. So this is just an average. So you could be in US, Canada, Dubai, India, wherever you're watching this from, Asia, Southeast Asia. Always go and get the price list and the commission list from your local branch. But we're going to use US dollars for this training. So we know that the Wukong Sigma retails for about $2,200. 8A commission is $800 and 1A is $100. The K8 machine retails for $5,480. 8A commission is $2,800 and 1A commission is at $350. And the MGuard is retailing for $1,480. 8A commission at $640, 1A commission at $80. Okay, so for this 4 categories protocol, you can do it for the K8, you can do it for the MGuard, but for the purpose of the exercise, I'm gonna use MGuard because it is the lower ticket of all the high ticket items, and still this exercise is gonna show people how lucrative this business can be. So we're gonna use MGuard's 1A $80 commission for this exercise. Or we call it 4CATs for short, 4 categories of customers. So in this exercise, we want to explain to people that, look, in this business, you're going to have 4 different categories of customers. And then we split the paper or the screen into a couple columns and rows, sales per month and sales per year. So first of all, let's explain the different types of different categories of customers. The first category is what we call an end user. So the end user is somebody that just loves the machine, has no interest in the 8-point commission, just want to use the MGuard or drink the Kangen water. Okay? And by the way, a fun fact, 90%, more than 90% of all the 2 million plus sales done in Enagic, 90% of them are to end users. Fun fact, which means that gives me a lot of confidence, which means when people would be buying these machines, whether there is commission to be paid or not, whether there's a business or not. So that's very, very powerful. And the second one is what we call part-timers. So what are part-timers? Part-timers are people that perhaps they already have a full-time 9-to-5 job, but they want to get out of that 9-to-5 rat race. They want to get out and be financially free, or they're already running a business and they want to do Enagic as their secondary business. So part-timers are serious and committed in the business. And then you have people who are full-timers. And full-timers are people that are doing it full-time. This is their bread and butter. This is where, they are going all out. Everyday demos, meetings, Zooms. They're growing this business and making incredible income. And in between end user and part-timers, you will be meeting these people in your organization as well. It is inevitable. I call them your sometimers. All right. So sometimers are people that come into the business and they do this business once in a while, whenever they have time. Let's say every week they do a meeting on online, or they invite some friends to their home or something like that, right? So you will be meeting these people. And I think it's important for us to set that expectation onto our prospects, and to also do something subconsciously to let them know that some timers don't make a lot of money and you want to at least be a part-timer. So it's subconsciously framing your prospects' minds that if you're going to come into Enagic, at least you need to be a part-timer. Not a some-timer, not an end user, at least a part-timer and transition over to a full-timer. Okay, so the first thing we ask is for an end user, let's talk about the end guard. How many end guards would a home normally buy? So you want to ask the prospect that. So the prospect may say, they could buy 2, 3, 4, 5, a couple M guards. And I said, let's say just to be conservative, they buy 1 unit. They start with 1 unit, and they don't know anything about the 8A commission, but they use the M guard. They're sleeping better. Their mood is changing. Their physiology is changing. They're feeling better. Their blood circulation, the rouleau formation is gone. They're concentrating a lot better. They're getting better energy. What do you think your happy end user is going to do? So what do you think they'll say? They'll say, okay, you're going to get a lot of referral sales, right? So you're going to get a lot of referral sales. And the question is, how many referral sales can you get from a happy customer in the span of a year? So ask that question. So they can give you any kind of number, 10, 20, whatever, right? So write it down. Okay, well, let's say it's 10. And then now go to your sometime. So sometime, remember, they are more than an end user. So why do I want to say that? So that they don't give me numbers lower than an end user. Because sometimers, they are more than an end user. They know about the 8-point commission. They know about the compensation plan. And they do meetings, let's say once or twice a week. Okay. So how many units can they sell in a year? Okay. They could sell 2 a month, 3 a month, or whatever. And let's be conservative and say 1 a month. So that leaves us with 12 sales a year. Very important to make a distinction between the part-timer and the some-timer. Because some-timers, they are not serious, they're not committed. The part-timer, what differentiates, and this is something that you have to tell to your prospect, to your downline that you're presenting this to, that the part-timer is somebody that is serious and committed in the Enagic business, growing this business. Every day they spend 2 hours on the business. Weekends, they're just full on onto the business, growing it online and offline. How many direct sales, keyword, direct sales per month? So now we're looking at the monthly sales, because serious distributors, they have to look at their monthly sales. Okay. And they do in this business for the M guard. So they could say 10, 20, 5, whatever number it is. And let's say we take the lower one, whatever people say, we say 3. Okay. And how many can a full-timer do? So they could be saying 10, 20, 30. And let's say we take 6. So it's always good to be conservative with this exercise, because even by being conservative, this business and the 8-point commission is still insane. Okay. So if we take 3 sales per month into 12 months, so you can see I'm going over to the next part, sales per year, and I multiply it by 12 months. So if you take 3 times 12, the number is 36. However, to be conservative, this is what we like to do. We cut down the 3 sales to, let's say, 1 sale a month, because you have to understand that in this business, it's all about managing the expectation of our new members. A lot of people join this business and they say, oh, it's very easy. You go out, you talk to 10 people. I'm sure everybody would buy. You're setting the wrong expectation. Now, what we like to do in our organization, in our team, is we want to under-promise and over-deliver. So 3 is a very low number, even, but we're going to cut it down to 1. So if you talk about 1 sale in 12 months, it is only 12 sales. And let's say for the full-timer, 6 sales, pretty low. We cut it down by half, and we talk about 3 sales a month. Okay. And that takes us to 12 months, 36 sales. So how much commission would you be overriding on these 12 and 36 sales? Now that depends. That depends whether these part-timers and full-timers, are they under your 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A? Of course, in the perfect world, we want everybody to be under our 6A line, because that's where we override the maximum commission. Okay. The thing is, on your journey from 1A to 6A, you're going to be sponsoring people under your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even 6. So there will be a mixture of lanes in your organization, which you'll be overriding different amount of commission. So ask your prospect, which lane would you want me to place both of them? So some of them may say, okay, let me do in the middle, 3A or 4A or 5A. So we like to be conservative and just say, let's just take a 2A. 1A is not possible. Why? Because you're going to have multiple lanes, and definitely the average is going to be higher than 1A. So the minimum we're going to take is 2A. So 2A, we're talking about $160, right? Because M Guard 1A is $80. So for this exercise, if it's a K8, 1A is $350, 2A is $700. So this exercise gets really exciting when you do it, even for the K8. Okay, but take a look at the MGuard. 2A for your full-timer, $160. So if you multiply, so next step is you multiply 12 sales in a year times $160. That's where you get $1,920 overriding commissions on your part-timers' direct sales. Remember, $1,920 is your overriding commission on your part-timers' direct sales. It is not your direct commission. It is not your direct commission. Okay? Remember that. This exercise is about bringing in the part-timers. When they sell 12 direct sales, how much do you override? Remember that. Same thing for full-timers. When they do 36, every unit 160, that is $5,760. So let's pause right there. Okay? So once again, okay? What are these numbers? This is when your part-timer sells 12 direct in a year and full-timers does 36 in a year. Now, the next question we have to ask is a very important question is, which sales are going to be more in your organization? Is it your direct sales or is it your indirect sales? Which will be more in your organization, your direct sales or your indirect sales? They say, oh yeah, it's going to be a lot more, right? So how many times more? People can say 5 times, 10 times, even 100 times more, which is possible, right? In fact, in my organization, it is much more than 100 times. But again, we want to keep it conservative. Okay, so they would say 1 to 5, 1 to 10, or whatever. So if the indirect sales is 10 times more than the direct sales, does that mean the indirect commissions that could come from your part-timer would be 10 times more than the direct sales commission? Answer is yes, because remember, the direct to indirect commission value is the same. If you're getting 160 as a direct commission, indirect commission is also 160. So if that's a case of 10 times, that means the indirect commission is $19,200. But again, we're going to cut it down. We're not going to take 10 times. Let's say you had a slow start. Again, manage expectation. Let's say it's 1 to 2. So it's $3,840 rather than 19K. Okay? So 1 to 2. Very low. So let's say the same thing for your full-timers. Normally, the full-timers will be duplicating a lot more and a lot faster. But again, be conservative. So that gives us $11,520. Okay? So what do we have? We total up these two numbers. Okay? So for the part-timers, you get $5,760. And for the full-timer, it is $12,280. Right? In green color. So the next very, very important question is, if you are doing this business under the assumption that your prospect is doing this business seriously and committed, 12 months with our team, with our systems, with our support, serious and committed, how many part-timers can they bring into this business? So you ask your prospect this question, how many part-timers? They say, oh, maybe I can bring 10, I can bring 20 in the next 1 year. So say, let's say you bring 5. All right. And these 5 people, they're not superstars. They're not selling 100 sales. They're not doing 100 sales a month or what, but they're doing 1 sale a month under your 2A line with a 1 to 2 direct to indirect ratio. That part-timer generates you $5,760. So what happens when you have 5 of them working in your organization? You multiply the number. And that gives you $28,800. And how many full-timers can you bring in? So they may say, oh, full-timers may be a little bit lesser, but we want to find quality people. Let's say I can bring 5 or 3, whatever number is, let's say you take 2. Let's say you have 2 people in your full-timers, and that's $24,560. And remember to be conservative. But even with these conservative numbers, if you total these two up, are you not looking at a total income by bringing in 5 part-timers that does 1 sale a month under a 2A, 1 to 2 direct to indirect, and 2 full-timers, 3 sales a month, 2A, 1 to 2 direct indirect, total up the commission, you're looking at clean commission profit of $53,360. And what was your investment to start the business? 1 MGuard, 1 K8, or whatever, 1 product. Now, can this number go up? Absolutely. What if you have two accounts, which we will talk in our strategy video? You would take this number, multiply by two. Am I right? So that's where the excitement begins. And this is on one account, $53,000. This is what I tell people. This is your worst case scenario in this business. Look at the number of sales. You told me 3 sales a month, 6 sales a month. I say 1 and 3. You told me 4A, I said 2A. You said 1 to 10, I said 1 to 2. So again, it is about showing to people that even by being conservative, we can hit these numbers. But it doesn't mean they could be lackluster and slow down. No, it means that they still have to put in 100% effort, go out there and achieve much more than these results. Okay, so make sure that you share this video with your team as well, so that they can also learn how to duplicate these 4 categories, how to also show people the potential. And the moment we truly have duplication in your organization, that's where you're going to hit your next rank, grow your business to the next level, and really be able to help people have a head start in the business by showing them what is possible. All right, share this video, share it with your team, and I'll see you guys at the next video. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this one, and I'll catch you guys soon.